Okay, let's get into it. We're doing a deep dive today on a piece of consumer tech that seems to be, well, everywhere right now. The automatic 32 millimeter rotating hair curler. It's sold as this ultimate shortcut, one hand curling, spinning barrels, fast results.
Hmm.
Our mission today is to really look at the transparency here and see if the design actually lives up to that marketing hype using real consumer reports.
And before we jump in, just the mandatory disclaimer for you. This is all educational commentary.
Yeah.
We're analyzing marketing claims and user feedback on a product category. We are not giving out any medical or health advice.
Got it. Okay, so let's start with the tech, specifically the safety claims. So many of these models advertise barrel materials like ceramic or tourmaline. The idea is that they spread the heat out more evenly, to minimize scorches. It sounds pretty protective.
Right. And this is where it gets really interesting. You have to connect that claim about materials to the actual user experience. Because while ceramic is great in theory, sources suggest that in these mass market products, the coating can be so thin that it compromises that whole promise. You end up with these localized hotspots.
Mm.
So despite all the marketing features like anti-skull tech or cool touch, user reports are full of complaints that the outer shell just becomes way too hot to touch.
Wow, so the Cool Touch feature is basically just a hope. I saw one model that advertised a temperature range from, what was it, 160 to 220 Fahrenheit. But then users say they have a really hard time getting curls to last on long hair without a lot of effort.
Exactly. The low temperature is supposed to be the safe option. But then people find that to get a curl to actually hold, they have to go super slow or hold the thing at a weird angle. It demands a kind of technique that just completely undercuts that whole promise of effortless.
Which brings us right to the main mechanism, the spin itself, the automatic rotation. That's framed as the key convenience. But what did your sources say about the design trade-offs there?
Well, what's fascinating is the trade-off that's just built into the design. The motor's speed is highlighted as this huge benefit, but it also adds this critical new variable, user accounts.
Yeah.
And we found one on Reddit, of all places.
On Reddit, I'm kind of surprised that's where the truth is hiding on a hair tool.
Yeah, a really vivid description. It shows that hair could get caught, it can get tangled or pulled by that rotating chamber if your technique isn't, well, perfect.
How bad are we talking?
That one user called the device a hungry vacuum cleaner for split ends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which really gets at that snagging problem. It just strongly suggests that the convenience of rotation has to be balanced with really precise technique from the user. And on top of that, the claim of speed gets, kind of shot down by the fact that you often need multiple passes for thick or long hair.
But wait, hold on. If you have to slow down, have perfect technique, and still do multiple passes, doesn't that mean the automatic function is kind of fundamentally flawed, at least when you measure it against that promise of speed and ease? It makes you question the whole value proposition. These things can cost a lot.
Oh, yeah. They command a significant premium. We're talking beyond dollars and pesos locally, which of course leads to this flood of cheaper knockoffs on the market.
Right.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, even the low heat settings on these devices may be too aggressive for someone with fine or already heat-sensitized hair. It just raises these important questions about, generalized safety guidance versus what an individual person's hair actually needs. It's why professionals, a lot of the time, they still lean towards the tried and true non-rotating tools. They just offer better control and more consistency.
So what does all of this mean for you? When you're evaluating this kind of technology, the key seems to be separating the novelty of the spin from the practical things, like consistent heat and the skill you actually need to use it right. That shortcut you're paying for might not really be a shortcut at all.
And it leaves you with a really important question. Considering all the user challenges, the high cost, and the technique you have to master,
Yeah.
are you paying a premium for a novelty feature when, better consistency and safety might just be found in a traditional non-rotating tool? Is convenience really convenient if it still risks snagging your hair?
Something to keep in mind the next time you see a big tech claim that promises to solve everything effortlessly.